I think we have an obligation, society, to make great cities. I mean, if you do a bad building in a city and next to a bad building and a bad building, you're going to develop a long-term bad city. If you do wonderful buildings, and they don't have to be heroic in any nature, but they have to be good urban buildings, then you're actually going to improve the cities. I don't believe that architects typically have lived in the environments. Fortunately, we've lived in downtown since 1984, so we've experienced what it's really like to live in downtown, to deal with the edge of streets and landscaping and stoops and entries and patterns and rhythms and scale. And most architects have no experience whatsoever. You know, this wonderful like 3-story, almost courtyard-like housing you can park in the alley off the back. It's a very difficult building type to do, and it takes a lot of experience to do it well. And I don't think that any or most of the architects have had the experience. Obviously, there's some great buildings going on, but the majority of them are bad urban buildings, and they're destroying the cities. Everything's developed around sort of our main philosophies. One is no elevator, 2, no underground parking, and 3, all circulation happens via outdoor spaces, so people can experience movement around the buildings. Actually, we built a 5-story building, which is called the Titan, and it had no elevator, no underground parking. Now you've basically taken that circulation, put it back in the units. Well, our design aesthetic is a function of several things. One, it's a function of the art we're trying to pursue in the minimalist boxes, and we also try to create a rhythm, so there's an identity. So the scale of the eastern part of the building meets with the neighborhood of Victorian houses, but it's scaled down, so it feels as though they're individual units rather than one big project. You sort of paint different colors to make it look smaller. These truly are objects that are smaller. On the west side, it's more aggressive because of the freeway. So we've actually lifted the buildings off the ground, and you've come underneath them, and they're a little larger in scale. I mean, we deal well with the 3-story scale, very well. Now we're moving into 7 stories, and what's that going to feel like? We've won 5 national housing awards for the last 5 buildings, so obviously we're doing something that's progressing properly, and hopefully this one will do the same.